We're ready to rumble with our semi-main event. Team Promotions, Peter Maniatis welcomes you to a fight for the vacant Victorian Heavyweight Championship, vacated by James Grimmer. The gentleman, James Grimmer, has vacated this championship. Both men, therefore, are challengers. Would you welcome first, on my left, occupying the blue corner. Ladies and gentlemen, in kickboxing, he's had 9 fights, 6 wins. From the mighty township of Whittlesea, Victoria, with Bryce and Diamond Dale Westerman in the corner. Working out the Melbourne Martial Arts Centre, ladies and gentlemen, getting 99.60 kilograms, wearing black trunks with white trim. Last year on the Slater Boys show, he demolished Tommy Hammer in professional boxing. 2 bouts, 1 win, 1 loss. Would you welcome, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet and greet Paul Ironman Robinson. And across the corner, across the ring in the red corner with Ray Charles, joining Matt Try from the underworld with Dave the Rock Hedgecock in the corner. This man comes to us originally from Eddie Maguire territory, the mighty Brody Ben Meadows. Then he moved to Reservoir, now based in Brunswick, Victoria, with a bevy of ladies supporting him in centering. Also joining him in ringside, the Brisbane Lions Premiership team with Chris Johnson at ringside. Tonight scaling 91.40 kilograms, known as the Rock Star, or Stacks of Wax. Ladies and gentlemen, in black trunks, black and blue, would you welcome Adrian, the Rock Star. 8 rounds of boxing. It takes a big man to handle a big fight. Long John McCubbin.
Righto, Paul, Staggy, I've spoken to both of you in the dressing rooms. I want a good fight. You're both experienced boys. Now, when I say break, I mean break. I don't mean to have a look at each other and grab hold of them. I don't want to be pulling you apart all the time. Right, I want you boxing and working. All right, now shake hands and have a good one.
Victorian Heavyweight Championship up for grabs.
This should be a fantastic fight, this, Robert. Stack always has a big fan club here. He's a popular man amongst the fair ladies of Melbourne, Stephen.
Yes, I'd say not so much Melbourne, but down in the Underworld Gymnasium, I'd say for sure. So here we go now. Paul Robinson throwing out left hook and the right cross and working away, tangling up Stack there. And at the moment, it's been a bit of a grappling affair, Robert.
Now, Adrian Stack hasn't had long to prepare for a southpaw. He's been expecting to fight orthodox fighters. In fact, 2 have pulled out due to injury, and so he's had to have a quick study in tackling the southpaw.
Excellent. Mr. Mertz, our expert commentator here at ringside, sees Adrian Stack working out regularly at the Underworld Gymnasium.
Yes, Adrian's been working pretty hard. He's been getting a lot of good advice, good sound advice from some experienced pugilists down there at the Underworld.
Yes, no doubt about that. McCubbin splits them again at the moment. Pretty.
That's about round 1. Welcome a young man who made his very promising debut last Sunday on the Team Brizzy Ben and Cos and Sammy show at Calabria Club, a sellout crowd of 1,500. Michael Oakes Rose. Good on you, Michael. Great debut last Sunday. Met a very good opponent. He'll be back. Michael Oakes Rose. A very stylish debut in the presence of former world champ Barry Michael last Sunday at the Calabria Coliseum. We welcome Dr. Purley from Western Australia, joining Peter Lewis, Dr. Purley and Ryan Hodges, part of the medical team here tonight. Joining us, don't forget the Brute Force drinks. Great refreshment drink, Brute Force. Seconds out, round 2. We're in the heavyweight championship fight. Adrian Stack and Paul Robinson. Wow, we're underway.
Fighting for a Victorian title. You can't get pumped for a top. He's ripped for a heavyweight.
Yep, no doubt about that.
He's looking immaculate, isn't he, Peter?
He's definitely done the work, Adrian Stack.
The other thing with Stack, he is always capable of unloading that big bomb that drops his opponent. He's got a stinging punch when it connects, hasn't he, Peter?
Yep, doing a lot of good work underneath there too, Stack.
We can't see a thing with Long John. He's always right in front of us.
Yes.
You'd think he'd be
Big John, well, he used to be a heavyweight fighter himself.
Throw a jab, Long John.
That's a good point. But just before, Stack did some excellent work at the midsection of Robinson. There's some scoring punches in there, no doubt at all.
Great referee, Long John. He refereed the world title, one of the undercard world title fights, and he doesn't take much crap, Long John. He's in there.
Oh, not at all. He's the boss of the ring. You don't muck with him, do you, Peter?
Stack at the moment doing a bit of defensive work there. He's tangling Robinson up, trying to knock the steam out of Robinson this round, I'd say.
He's also working away, looking for that opening. If you notice the way he's just pounding at it, just keep.
Oh. Robinson now being tangled up. Stack is doing the defensive tackling at the moment. He's tangling Robinson up and trying to work underneath. Robinson's trying to break away by getting body shots in underneath.
Also, too, I think the...
Oh, that's a slip.
Was a slip, yeah.
That's a slip. And Stan Longinides giving advice to Paul Robinson there about how to go about his tactics there at ringside. Fantastic to see Stan here after his recent fight against Gurgen Oskin at Vodafone Arena.
Fantastic effort there by Stan Longinides. Now the boys are just grappling. It's getting a bit messy at the moment.
It is messy. That's a good adjective to describe it with, Peter. No doubt about that.
Peter, I think that Robinson's starting to slow up a bit. He came out with a burst of fury and energy, and he's now starting to slow up appreciably. You notice his guard's down. He's puffing a little more. He's feeling the effects of it.
Yes.
Would
Maybe.
Would he be a bit ring rusty, Stephen?
No, I don't think so. I actually think that Stack decided to go
round
defensive that
2.
round.
Happy birthday, Faye Leach, 50 years young,
Robinson
Steve
up
Semble,
as much as he
38.
could.
And tomorrow, world champ Lester Ellis.
Powering through in
as
these
his
early
38th
rounds.
birthday,
And
many
more
happies
defensive
to Master Blaster, Lester Ellis.
method more than anything else,
Big
Robert.
birthday weekend. We're in centering here at Team Promotions. Peter Matiatis, his 10th big show
Dave Hedgecock
here
and
tonight.
Matty
Friday
Trotter,
night
who
fights
could not better get a better corner
Channel
than that. The second to
31,
none in the
your
world.
boxing authority. Channel 31 fights next Friday. We're
Big John
live.
McCubbin had a word to Paul
your host,
Robinson,
Peter
and now he
Matiatis.
moves to Stack.
The Team Promotions
I think he's
king
told
of
both
the ring.
boys he's not too happy with the negative tying up, Peter.
Won't take much mucking around, Long John. He's right in there.
Yep, no doubt about that. Pretty even round, that.
How did you score that, Stephen?
Well, look, really, due to the lack of punches thrown and the tying up, it'd have to be even, that round.
Now, I can't recall, Peter. When was Robinson's last fight? How long's it been between fights for
It was
him?
against Dean Mack in October the 4th at Moorabbin.
That's right, yeah.
He dropped a 6-round decision, took the bout on short notice.
Yeah. He might.
Oh! Robinson showboating there for a minute. And Stack mixes it with him. Oh! And then Robinson throwed a big left hand and has Stack on the ropes, backing him into the ropes. But Stack is valiantly fighting his way out. But good tactics there from Robinson to eventually put the pressure on Stack. Robinson's trying to avoid the tying up more than anything else. That's why he dropped his gloves, I'd say.
He's about 8 kilo heavier, Paul Robinson. He's a big boy.
Oh, he's enormous, isn't he?
Look, he may look as if he is carrying an extra 5 kilos, and it may not all be muscle, but I reckon he's deceptive with his stamina, Robinson. I think we're going to find this fight virtually go the distance. That's my tip at the moment.
He's got a big motor, big gas tank there.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty to fill, Peter.
Like a big gas engine.
Well, Stacky turned him around there, trying to work away on the midsection on the ropes in the corner of the ring there, but McCubbin again splits him up. Those punches from Stack weren't hard, gentlemen.
One thing about Adrian Stack, Peter, he's once again a huge draw card for the crowd. He always pulls, particularly amongst the female boxing fans, a huge support, doesn't he?
He's happily engaged, Adrian Stack, with a lovely Samantha. He's been a great campaigner. He's been sparring Gurkhan Ozcan and a lot of the Russian fighters that run the undercard of Kostya. So he puts in the mould, Stack. He's a great player.
Oh, doesn't he? It shows in his physique.
Yeah, both these boys look like they've certainly prepared for this bout reasonably well, I'd say. No doubt about that.
I tell you what.
He's had a stack of bad luck too, Stacky.
Oh, hasn't he?
Stack of bad luck. Injury-riddled career.
Well, remember that terrible lump he got on his head after that last fight he had here at Melbourne against Bobby Patterson a while back. It was enormous. It looked like Mount Vesuvius.
No, and Robinson mauling Stack there on the far side of the ring. Mauled him then. Was all over him, and in fact you have to be careful either when the elbows come up that the damage can be done.
He was all over him like a cheap suit.
He was, wasn't he, Peter? I tell you what, Peter, there'd be a lot of women who'd be disappointed to hear the news that Stacky's engaged. He had a huge fan club last time he was here.
One of them's just slashed her wrists out the back.
Stacky opening up a bit now on Robinson around the rib cage area.
Snapping body shots to the rib cage.
That was an exciting combination.
It was, but don't forget, some of those punches did land on Robinson's arms, but some of them did get through.
Oh, no, they got on the belly, Stephen. He was working overtime on the belly.
Now, Robinson now responds there. He's got Stack backed into the ropes and managed to slip a couple there into the solar plexus, no doubt. Pretty even fight, this.
These boys are taking it up to one another.
No doubt about that. There's a lot of mauling going on again here. Robinson pushing Stack back with both arms. And now the bell goes for the end of round 3. And another fairly even round. That, gee whiz, look, I think that...
How did you score that, Steve?
Actually think that Robinson nearly got the better of that round, you know. I mean, it's either an even round or it's a Robinson round, I'd say, one or the other. I'd probably give it square, I'd say.
I'm looking at the moment. Bryce Burstwhistle is giving instructions to his charge. He is really on fire, Bryce, here. I can hear him shouting instructions to Robinson, discussing tactics, telling him what to do, telling him to use the uppercuts, Stephen. And it's interesting to note Bryce is giving that instruction to Robinson.
Yes.
And it's a punch tonight. We've seen very little of the uppercut, which is the most effective punch.
It is an effective punch, but you've got to remember this, that these boys are in too close and they're pushing each other, their bodies down, arms down each other. They can't get clean uppercuts in there. There's just too much pressure going on in the clinches.
Oh, look, Stephen.
Whoa! The water. There's water everywhere here at ringside. The boys will have to clean that. That's dangerous. And they'll get the towel out now and give that a bit of a wipe.
Yeah, someone could slip on that, Steve.
Yeah, ice there too, so that's dangerous, that. Now the boys tangle up again, Stack and Robinson. Stack's trying to work away with the right hand on the solar plexus, the rib cage. Robinson has him tangled up on his right-hand side.
Robinson's looking for the uppercut. He got that instruction from Bryce Burstwhistle between rounds.
Yes.
Mark my words, look out for the uppercut. I'm sure it'll come, Steve.
Now, the only trouble is he's only got 2 arms, Robert, and at the moment they're all tangled up on Stack.
These boys are fantastic quality heavyweights.
Oh, they are, Peter.
They make it look so easy out there because heavyweights normally look sloppy, but these guys are really having a go.
Oh, that's a red-hot go, Peter.
These boys will be exhausted by the time this fight gets to round 8 because of their body pressure they're putting on each other, constantly pushing each other around like they're two bulls.
They've both got huge shoulders, huge across the shoulders.
Oh, they've got the equipment, and they've got hearts that are enormous. Now, there's some blood.
Oh, there's some blood here.
Yeah.
Now, where's it coming from? I'd say it's from Stack on to Robinson. So when he raises his head, we'll see. Where is it? Has he got a cut? Yes!
Stack.
A nasty cut underneath the right eye of Stack.
Left eye, Stephen.
Is it the left eye?
Yes.
Yes. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Yeah, you could be right there, Robert. I think you are, actually.
Looked like it could have come from a clash of heads again, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it, but...
Got hit with a sneaky uppercut there.
Robinson's using mammoth strength here, constantly pushing Stack back and then working into the body underneath. Stack valiantly trying to fend off some of those punches. Now, yes, under the left eye, that well turned into a cut, and I don't know how.
It is a mouse.
It's a mouse, and it looks nasty, but it's really harmless.
Yeah, just a mouse.
Yeah, just dripping the right way downwards, so as they all do.
It's a mouse.
And
you can fix that in 2 seconds.
yeah, nothing, that won't stop anyone from continuing on, so...
That's a mouse that's opened up. Any competent cut man will deal with it. You're right, Peter.
Ray Giles, great cut man in the corner. He's
got it ready already there, Peter.
Butt in the mouth, and he's chewing on the butt, Ray Giles.
He's got the adrenaline. He's got the adrenaline on it.
We hope he doesn't get excited and swallow that.
No risk of that. In a way, Ray Giles has probably replaced Keith Ellis Sr. as the best cut man in the business, I think, Peter.
Yep, Ray Giles is a man now.
Oh, and Stack now working away at the midsection of Robinson, trying to exert more authority here.
Oh, boy, this bounce of Bobby Dazzler. Stack is really going in, isn't he?
This is even, Stephen. I cannot split them.
But look at Robinson pushing back with strength. This is going to be like this for the rest of the fight.
Brute force.
But it shows you what a pro this boy Robinson is. You know,
he's a seasoned campaigner.
Yeah, that's right, Peter. He really demonstrates that he's got that experience under his belt. He knows every trick in the book. He knows the tactics. He knows the science. And that's what boxing's all about. How did you score that round, Stephen?
I gave that round to Robinson, 10-9. On the unofficial card, I thought he did more work in close than Stack. Stack was fending off a lot of the time, and Robinson was doing the work. Robinson was able to get punches in on Stack and was happy to indulge in a basically not so much a slugfest, but a pushing situation, hard-pressed pushing situation where body pressure was used constantly. And to me, Robinson did enough work to deserve to just get home in that round.
I'm watching Bryce Burstwhistle give instructions to Robinson, and he said to work on the jab. He's really emphasised to Robinson the need to effectively use the jab. I'll be very curious to see what Robinson's tactics are this round. Bryce was emphatic, go for the jab. Now, Bryce is one of the scientific trainers in this business. He knows what it's all about. You can't pull the wool.
Fantastic referee.
He is. Yeah, you're quite right, Peter. Couldn't get a better referee, could you?
No. Gee, these boys are superbly fit, and they look as fresh as daisies.
They do.
Yeah.
And Big John McCubbin, he asserts his authority on it, doesn't he, Peter?
Yep, definitely.
You won't pull the wool over his eyes either.
No.
Robinson just threw a bit of a lazy right hand. Stack was easily able to avoid that, and now they're back to where they were.
I do remember, Peter, as a young lad going to TV ringside every Monday night, and Big John boxed very regularly there. He was one of my favourites. He was a stalwart of TV
Popular
ringside.
light heavyweight, John McGovern.
Yeah.
Oh, a left, well, it was a straight left from Robinson, missed. Stack was able to avoid it. Clever work by Stack. Robinson again, oh, straight left. Beautiful punch from Robinson. That did the job there. That was a nice straight left, a bit of a cagey punch there. It looked like it was going to be a right hand to start with, but that was the punch he used as a foxing mechanism and got the left hand straight into Stack.
Oh, he was foxing, Stephen. No doubt he was trying to lure Stack in, yeah.
No doubt about that, but 1 point off. Now, what's happening here, gentlemen?
Clash of heads.
He's taken a point off a fighter.
Looked like a clash of heads to me.
Well, he's taken a point off. We're trying to work out who's lost a point. But a point has been removed from one of the fighters here. He turned around to the judges and took a point off.
Who was it that took a minus a point?
I think it may have been off Stack, but I'm not 100% sure.
No, I think it was Paul Robinson.
That's what I thought, Peter, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. So
Bryce banged the canvas. He looked disgusted.
Bryce looked very
he's having
unhappy.
another warning here to Robinson.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Stack's breathing very hard here.
Bryce is less than happy about all this. You talk about foxing, Stephen. Some of the best foxing I've seen in recent times is Jimmy Cheetahs. He was a master of foxing in those great bouts he had against Heath Stanton. No one could fox better than Jimmy Cheetahs. Peter, have you got any plans to get Jim Cheetahs back on your any of your future events?
I'm always open to offers.
I've been trying to get him up here for a long time, Peter. I'm a big Cheetahs fan. He goes in like a
The
bomb.
bad boy. He's a good mate of mine, the bad boy.
Great mate of mine. I go down to Jim's gym in Grovedale whenever I'm in the neighbourhood, and he's one of the greats of boxing, Jim
Say
Cheetahs.
hello to me from me next time you
I
see him.
do. He
He's a
loves
great
the
guy.
sport, and he's a popular figure down in the Greater Geelong area.
Robinson has tied Stack up here. He's got the right arm over the Stack left arm and working away again
This
at
is
the
what you
midsection.
call craftsmanship. They're both trying to use body work to get a sneaky shot in.
Yes, that's well summed up.
Real manipulation of the bodies. One of them is looking for that bomb.
They're both big boys.
Oh,
And there goes the bell.
The end of it either, Peter. How'd you
Oh.
score that round, Stephen?
Well, I'll have to find out about the point situation first. I'll be back in a second, gentlemen.
Oh, Boris Birtwistle is very upset.
John, who was the point taken off from? Who was taken off from? Who lost the point?
We've clarified that situation, and Robinson has lost a point. So
Well, Bryce Birtwistle has just given Robinson the rounds of the kitchen. He said to him it was stupid. I won't go into some of the more choice words that Bryce used, but he is very upset. Look at him. Bryce is absolutely waving his hands at him. Oh, dear, Bryce is giving Robinson the biggest payout imaginable. Bryce is,
exuberant language. He's upset, Bryce, because Robinson wasn't following his instructions, and that's what the trainer's there for. And referee here not happy with the bird whistle corner either. So now here we go.
Stan was very upset, Peter. Boy, the atmosphere in this ring you could cut with a knife. The
Now
crowd
Stack turns Robinson around, Robert, just as you were talking there, and spun him around on the ropes. Clever work by Stack to do that, but now Robinson pushes back with just pure power.
This is like the half spin and turn.
It really is, Peter. Dave Hedgecock is screaming at his charge. Dave Hedgecock is really worked up. He's telling Stack to have a go. He's telling Stack to get out of there and have a crack at him.
Yeah,
Look at Hedgecock.
neither trainer, bunch of trainers are happy with their men at the moment.
Ray Giles is throwing in some gratuitous comments. Boy, that's some advice.
The best trainer in Australia, Ray Giles.
Yeah,
No
I
doubt
agree
about
with
that.
you there, Peter. I think we're out of dim on that one.
Oh, absolutely.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. Has some fantastic people under his camp. Love more to do still with him. Steve.
Julian Holland,
Yes,
Gavin Top,
Oh, yeah.
Julian Holland.
McGrail.
And Stack,
Stack's
Yep.
doing a bit of a half step and shuffle here.
He was there, Peter.
He's got to get busy. This round's up for grabs. Whoever finishes strong will win the round.
Robinson appears to be pushing the fight, Peter.
I thought he was auditioning for Strictly Ballroom there, Peter.
More underneath work being done by Stack here at the moment, being able to work some punches into the midsection of Robinson. And McCubbin talks to Robinson again.
And Bryce,
Whoa, big right hand from
big
Stack.
right
Just mislanded on, I think, the arm or shoulder of Robinson. The big punch he was trying to throw there. Robinson now showboating somewhat.
Bryce whistle telling him to calm down. Bryce is thumping the canvas.
Pushing left, punch straight left. Didn't do any damage whatsoever then, and Stack was able to move around and put Robinson into the neutral corner.
Bryce Birtwistle-
Clash of heads again there with the two boys.
Bryce Birtwistle keeps saying, keep working him, keep working him.
Stan
And a nice jab there from Robinson underneath.
Stan
Now
Longinides
McCubbin
is
pushing Robinson off again and saying he got ahead, but now there was a clash of heads there, but I don't know who caused it.
Over to you, Peter.
Stan Longanides is winging to the card girls. Very popular with the females, Stan Longanides.
He is. Well, mind you, they're very sexy card girls, Peter. I have to commend you on your choice of female attendees tonight.
My wife's here tonight, no comment.
Oh, okay. I can make those comments.
The blinkers and pacifiers are on.
The boys now, they've got to be careful with those heads. They've already got them together once in this round, and they've got to be super careful with that. End of round 6.
My word, this is interesting. Now look at Bryce Birtwistle now, the strategy he's telling Robinson.
Ray Giles is leaning in and just whacking into that mouse. He's doing a great job.
Well,
he's just sinking into it. I just saw him. He could not wait to sink into it.
He is the premier cut man. He really is. I think he's probably replaced Keith Ellis Sr. now as the best cut man in the business.
Keith Ellis Sr., he doesn't do as much anymore, does he?
No, he's pretty old,
inactive,
and then he's pretty well in retirement, isn't he, Peter?
He was the best.
Yep.
He was the best.
Len Swetnam was always very good. I remember as a younger bloke, Len was just a stalwart in the corner. He could stop the flow of blood like you wouldn't imagine. How did you score that round, Stephen?
I gave that to Robinson. I thought he did more work in that round.
Any particular scoring punches that you thought?
More the inside work by Robinson was slightly better than the work done by Stack in that round, because when they got in close, Robinson was able to deliver, I think, more punches to the midsection, stomach and rib cage of Stack. Only just, but enough to win the round, in my view.
He's a beautifully balanced boxer, Adrian Stack.
Oh, isn't he? Yeah.
I mean, look, gentlemen, Stack he's going to have to lift his work rate these next 2 rounds, something chronic to, I believe, overcome perhaps of a slight advantage that Robinson's built up in points.
He may be, I rated at the moment, Robinson 1 round in front with 3 rounds to go. Stack built
2 to go, 2 rounds left.
2 rounds to go, is it? Stack, he's got to win the next 2 rounds and he wins the title in my book.
Yes.
No, Stack over the top with the headlock on Robinson and slapping away at the lungs.
Robinson lost the point.
Well, he's already lost one earlier on, and Bryce Birtwistle was most upset about it. Boy, oh boy. Bryce chastised Robinson in his corner between the rounds there and said, you know, you're stupid. What did you do that for? You don't need it.
Oh, more body work being done by both men there. Robinson missed with a right hand, and Stack fell into him, and the boys were very close with the heads. There's going to be more trouble with the heads if they get that close over the next 2 rounds.
Oh, I think you're overdoing it there a bit, Stephen. I mean, heads are part of boxing. Don't get too worked up about it.
That's dangerous, very dangerous when they get that close.
Oh, we all cop the odd cut from that.
Now both boys leaning into each other. McCubbin will split them.
They're both barreling into each other, doing the body work. That takes a lot of energy.
Both boys showing a ton of courage here. They're not afraid to mix it.
A combination.
Stack working away hard on Robinson, but it doesn't stop him from pushing him into the ropes.
That's good tactics by Robinson.
Score and punches by Adrian Stack.
Stack was working overtime on the belly, and Robinson forced him into the ropes. McCubbin had to break him up. Very clever.
He's barreling into him.
Stack's trying to throw everything he's got at him, but Robinson stood there to take it. He's doing rope-a-dope, Robinson, for a moment.
Oh, Stack leaned on him. That was intelligent from Robinson, because Stack had the dominance of the punches.
Oh, solid right by Robinson then, Robert, too, just as Stack was coming in. He got met with it right in the jaw.
Yeah. Robinson is a very good scientific boxer. He uses every trick in the book. Bryce Birtwistle is giving him advice all the time from the apron. Did you notice that?
This is what heavyweight
Oh! Oh, boy, what was that? Oh, Dave Hedgecock is... Oh! Hedgecock's in the ring.
No!
Hedgecock's
Not
in the
happy
ring.
with Robinson.
No!
Oh, hell. Oh, hell's broken loose here. Robinson trying to get away from Dave Hedgecock, who's jumped into the ring. Bryce, Matt Trihey has grabbed Dave Hedgecock and, water bottles into the ring. So, someone's throwing water bottles at Robinson. Dave, is Howard Lee calling for him. There's no point in throwing water stuff into the ring, and they've got to cut that out over there and stop throwing missiles into the ring. That doesn't get anyone anywhere. As far as that's concerned, now Dave's got to get out of the ring. and get this rubbish out of the ring so we can get on with the fight. Dave said he's got to settle down.
Security, would you please come?
At the moment, Bryce Birtwhistle having a word to Dave Hedgecock, and he's coming back at Bryce. But Bryce Birtwhistle has to get out of the ring here as well. Disqualified. The fight has been disqualified here at ringside. Totally disqualified. And that's what's happened here tonight in this fight. Stan Longanides is now talking to Dave Hedgecock, who's still very upset.
He's extremely upset.
And Nick Matthew also over there to assist Dave with what's been happening here. Dave Hedgecock, now that was brought about. He got upset with an attack of Robinson towards the Stack, where he seemed to jump at him. I was blocked by McCubbin. I couldn't see the result of that, but at the moment, Matt Tryhe is talking to Dave Hedgecock, who's very upset at ringside.
He's very emotional.
And he's very emotional there at the moment, and I hope he's all right. Robinson, Stack is being, at the moment, spoken to by the doctor.
And Bryce.
And the board members of the Professional Boxing and Combat Sports Board. The bout officially finished 2 minutes 59 seconds into round 7. Is that right, Andrew? 2 minutes 59 seconds. We're going to have to talk some discussion to resolve this issue.
The referee has disqualified both fighters.
But it was also by order of the board, Stephen, under the boxing and martial arts legislation in the state. The board.
They have the power, and if they say it's a total all-round disqualification, that's what it'll be. You can't. Well, the decision's been made. The fight can't go on. The boys are in a position where they can now leave the ring, and I think the best thing to do would be to send them to the rooms, I'd say.
Look, Bryce Birtwhistle is fuming. He's upset. In fact, I thought he wanted to take Hedgecock on as well. It got very heated there for a moment.
Now, there's no...
Please be patient, ladies and gentlemen. Something out of the ordinary. We can't call it unique. Mr. Don Caro from Hotel Seville, would you come up, please, with the heavyweight championship belt? We have a decision. We'll tell you in just a moment. Mr. Don Caro.
Well, there could be some other developments here because the heavyweight belt is for the Victorian heavyweight title is being brought into the ring, I think, at the moment. So I don't know what's going to happen here because the referee had indicated to our commentary area that both fighters were being disqualified. So I'm totally unsure of what's taking place as we speak.
Well, we'll wait an announcement by order of the board. And bear in mind, the board can adjudicate on this under the Victorian boxing and martial arts legislation, Stephen.
Please, we have security officers.
Howard Lee has called for
please.
security at ringside, folks.
I think the atmosphere has cooled down at this point.
It's cooled down somewhat. Peter Maniata speaking to Big John McCubbin. We have Don Ho with the belt in his hands at the moment.
John McCubbin, 2 minutes 59 seconds into round 7. Just take me through that, take the audience through that, John, on Channel 31, Friday Night Fights.
Well, it's one of those things that happens in boxing not so often, but if we can have a bit of silence, please. Down there in the corner, David. What happened was over in this corner, over in the blue corner, he ran out with a lethal headbutt. That was bad enough. Dave didn't give me enough time to jump in and sort it out. Dave jumped in the ring, and the worst thing in the world a bloke can do in the corner is jump in the ring. I know his emotions are high. I've known Dave for a long time. But we went to the board, we asked the board. Now, Stacky has to be disqualified. Now listen. Hey, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. 1 second, please. Now look, rules are the rules. And these are the rules. We've gone to the board, and that's what's happening. Hang on, Stacky. Now look, This is, hang on. Now look, all right, there's a disagreement tonight, right? Disagreement tonight, but then again it's going to be a rematch and it'll be a better fight, all right? Come on.
Oh, yes.
Therefore, the new Victorian heavyweight champion by disqualification, Paul Robinson.
Here's Dave Hedgecock arguing with Howard Lee.
Dave Hedgecock was in the ring talking to Howard Lee.
Howard.
He's cooled down somewhat from 5 minutes ago. And Dr. Peter Lewis is there as well, assisting.
Firstly, I'd just like to say, why should my fighter be penalised for something I've done? If the board wants to penalise anybody, penalise me. Okay, I'll cop whatever you want to give. But don't penalise my fighter. This bloke did nothing, and I know Paul, and I respect Paul, but all he did was ram his head into my fighter's face dozens and dozens of times. Now, if the referee isn't going to do something about it, someone's got to. If the board isn't going to let that go, you won't have any fights. But don't penalise my fighter, penalise me.
Darryl, move away, please. Darryl, Bryce Birdwhistle with Paul Robinson. As John McCubbin beautifully said, sorry, Mr. Security Man. Bryce, how did you see that?
Look, you know, I got to be honest. I reprimanded Paul earlier in the fight for using too much of his head inside. It is boxing. It happens. All right. What Paul actually did, I know to all intents and purposes, it looked like he charged him with his head, but Paul has this double-handed like hook shot. So he stands here and he's got to run. Now, hang on a sec. If you want to hear, I'm only explaining to you. All right? I know what it looks like. I'm telling you, he does it when I've seen him spar. It's a bullshit thing. I don't agree with it. I reckon it's a waste of talent. All right? I understand Dave's anger. All right? And I sympathise with him. But I can honestly say from the bottom of my heart, he didn't try to headbutt him. He tried to double hook him. It's not the prettiest technique in the world, but take me on my word, he wasn't trying to charge him with his head. I promise you that. All right? So I know you're all disgruntled. I'm not happy with Paul because he's caused this stink in the boxing circles. All right? We don't need this crap in the boxing. I'll have a word to him out the back. We were more than happy to give Stacky a rematch. It was a good fight. It could have gone any way. You know, what can I say? I apologise as a trainer for my fighter. He shouldn't have done what he did. Although it was a legitimate punch, Stan the man's there, Stan's trained with him. He knows he does this stuff. He knows he does this double hook. I know it looked bad, so I apologise, but I promise you, he did not deliberately try and charge him with his head. I swear to God, all right? Dave knows me. He knows I'm a man of my word, and that's the end of it.
Paul Robinson, final word from you.
I just want to apologise to everybody. I didn't come in with my head intentionally. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul Robinson.